Good morning. Good morning. This is a really great crowd. Welcome to the 2013 Mayor's Community Service Awards. I am Jeffrey Richardson, the Executive Director of Serve DC, the Mayor's Office on Volunteerism, and we are really honored to have you here with us this morning to celebrate some amazing individuals who have done and continue to do some amazing work here in the District of Columbia, strengthening our communities. This has indeed been a banner year of service for service and volunteerism in the District of Columbia. In addition to the work that we're honoring and highlighting today of our honorees, we started this year with thousands of district residents and visitors volunteering for the Martin Luther King Day of Service and the inauguration of President Barack Obama. We moved into the spring with Global Youth Service Day with hundreds of young people across the district doing volunteer service with DC Public Libraries, Department of Employment Services, and Department of Parks and Recs, and many other partners. The city was hosted the annual conference for service and volunteerism with the Points of Light Foundation. And then this spring, we also had a record number of citizens who volunteered to be trained to support first responders in the event of a disaster or emergency, who stepped up to make sure that their community is strong and resilient during a disaster or emergency. We moved into the summer where we partnered with the Department of Employment Services, the Office of Latino Affairs, and others to train young people across the district to be a part of that cadre of community volunteers who are supporting our first responders and who are learning to do service learning and asset mapping across the city. And then in September, we observed the 9/11 Day of Service and Remembrance, and we had district residents and those who work in the district and visit the district pledge more than 5,000 volunteer hours of service on behalf of our men and women in uniform. And we had the honor to launch our Thank Uniforms campaign, thanking those in uniform who are serving on our behalf. And just recently this week, the district was awarded, as a founding member of Cities of Service, the district was awarded its first ever Cities of Service grant from Bloomberg Philanthropies to launch our Love Your Block DC initiative in partnership with the Department of Public Works, the Department of Parks and Recreation, and our Office of the Clean City to promote folks in being engaged in community revitalization and renewal. This year, we also launched NeighborGood, which is our volunteer search engine. So residents across the district who are looking for opportunities or organizations who are looking for volunteers can post those opportunities and we can connect and strengthen our community. We had the honor of hosting several foreign delegations who had come from the UK, China, and several other countries, including Singapore, to meet with us and observe our programs and see how we're leveraging volunteer service in the District of Columbia to meet unmet needs. And indeed, there are many programs and initiatives in the district that are really becoming and are a model for the world. And this year, we've also had the honor to partner with our many district government agencies, many are represented here today, to look at how we as a city and a government fully leverage our volunteer service and national service to meet many of the challenges that we are facing with our Cities of Service Government Task Force. So indeed, this year has been a banner year of service in the district, and we're here today with you and so happy to have you here celebrating with us, our honorees, and the spirit of service that is live and well here in the District of Columbia. I want to take the opportunity to thank some of the folks who are with us today and some of our partners we're happy to have, in addition to our mayor, Mayor Vincent C. Gray, of course, is with us this morning. Let's give our mayor a morning welcome. We have the Chief of Staff for the mayor, Mr. Christopher Murphy, who's here with us this morning. Chris, thank you so much for being with us. The Director of the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs, Mr. Steve Glade, who's with us this morning. We have several of our presenters who will be presenting awards today, some of them. We have our Deputy Mayor for Education, Ms. Abigail Smith, who's with us this morning. Thank you so much. We have Mr. Ilir Zerka, who's with the National Conference on Citizenship, who's a great partner who's with us today. And we're really excited going into 2014 to be working with the National Conference on Citizenship to do an assessment and a report on civic engagement and volunteerism here in the District of Columbia. So thank you so much for that partnership. Aleer. This year we had the honor of revitalizing our commission. You know, Serve DC is also the State Commission for National and Community Service, which serves as the heart of our work when we look at those AmeriCorps programs in partnership with the Corporation for National and Community Service. And we have 20 amazing commissioners that have stepped up to serve on our commission, and we want to thank them. Please stand. Our commissioners here stand and be recognized. Our commissioners, we have several commissioners that are here. We have the chair, yes. The chair of our commission, Ms. Justine Love, is with us today. We have our commissioner who's representing George Washington University, Ms. Amy Cohen, who's with us today. Thank you so much. And we also have our, we are in a partnership with the federal government when it comes to our programs with the Corporation for National Community Service and AmeriCorps. We have our state director who's with us today, Mr. Ron White, state director for the District of Columbia from the Corporation for National Community Service. Thank you so much for being with us. And so we really want to thank, and many of our other partners, we can see we have our partners from the Metropolitan Police Department, from Fire and Emergency Medical Services who is with us today. We have representatives from the Department of Parks and Recreation, DC Public Schools, DC Public Libraries, our partnership offices with the Office of Community Affairs, so many people who we've been able to do all these amazing things with in partnership this year. We really want to thank you. I have to take the opportunity as we start the program to do a special thanks to a team of people who not only have made today happen, but when we look at these things that we've been able to accomplish over the last year, have really professionals who are working day in and day out to make service a sustainable solution for meeting unmet needs in the District of Columbia, and that's the Serve DC team. Serve DC staff, please wave and be recognized. We have an amazing team of professionals who are working in the office. Right. So before the mayor opens up for us, I want to just a couple housekeeping things. As we move forward with the program, there will be, right after the mayor makes closing remarks, we will have a photograph with our honorees up front. So if our honorees will come back up at the end, and folks can sort of just give a pause for a few minutes for us to take the official photograph. And then we will have, as you've seen, light refreshments for a while in the hallway after the program. So, I've highlighted some of the accomplishments that we've had this year, and it is truly an honor to be able to serve in this position, and it's really an honor to have the opportunity to work with and serve a leader who really, truly has a vision for how service and volunteerism can play an integral part in strengthening our community. And whose life has been a life of service and has brought that vision and leadership into district government and set a framework for all of us to follow. So it is truly an honor to introduce this morning our mayor, Mayor Vincent C. Gray.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. I want to thank all of you for coming out for this special occasion, all those who are seated and all those who are around the wall. We've come to the conclusion that if we can find a room small enough, we can always have a packed house. No, we are actually increasingly using this room because it was grossly underutilized and is one of the many nice spaces, I should say, here in the Wilson building. So we want people to be able to know it and use it as much as possible. I want to thank Jeff for the work that he does with Serve DC. Jeff actually headed the Office of LGBT Affairs before he was, I would say, promoted to this responsibility, and really has done a sterling job in both of those opportunities, and really has done a great deal of work to be able to bring Serve DC where it is today. Again, you look at the number of people who are here, and I think it's a testament to the commitment to volunteerism here in the city. Chris and I were just talking, both of us came from organizations where without volunteerism we wouldn't have been able to get the things done. For those who don't know, Chris was the founding director of City Year here in the nation's capital, here in the District of Columbia. And I have been with two nonprofit organizations, the ARC, the Association for Retarded Citizens, which depended heavily upon volunteers, and of course Covenant House, Washington, which serves young people who are homeless, runaway, or otherwise at risk, which depended heavily upon volunteerism. So I bring to this a commitment and an understanding, frankly, of what it means to be a volunteer here in the city. You know, in my State of the District 2012 State of the District address, which I'm sure all of you remember just like it was yesterday, right? And if you do, you need a life. I said, as you all will recall, will we sit satisfied with the progress we have made over the past decade, content to let the next chapter of the district's history simply write itself? Or will we seize the moment, seizing the chance to grab a hold of our shared destiny, to chart the course of the future that we want for the district? All of that simply saying, raising the question, what are we going to do about our future in the city? And I guess in part that's what a vision is, taking hold of the future and then trying to not only agree on what we think the future ought to be, but then work hard to be able to actualize that effort. We certainly have recognized that while many increasingly are well off in the District of Columbia, we also have we continue to have people who are challenged economically and socially in the District of Columbia, and it is our job to be able to address that so we can grow the pie for everyone, and where everyone has a fair share being able to survive and thrive in our city. And we would hope that all would embrace the ambition that we'll work to be better off together. In fact, volunteers that we're working to honor today are people who, in their own way, have grabbed hold of that ambition. They've embraced it and are working hard to be able to effectuate that kind of future for people in the city. Many of you have heard me use the term one city, and it isn't often fully understood what I mean. It doesn't mean that everybody gets along with one another and, you know, we sit around a campfire and sing Kumbaya. If it were intended to be that would be completely ludicrous, wouldn't it? It is not intended to be that at all. In fact, what it is intended to be is that irrespective of where you live in the city, you ought to have the same opportunity as everyone else. And that is, in fact, exactly what our volunteers are working to bring about, and that is the same equality of opportunity, equality of access, and bringing support to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to live the good life here in the District of Columbia. Of course, the road to that requires us to work together, and that's an easy task, right? Getting everybody to work effectively together. We know that that's not hard at all. And what we are doing through Serve DC, and I know Jeff knows as well because he practices it every day, and that is to be able to get residents engaged in a common path to how we achieve substantive and sustainable improvement in our community. And we know that one city is an aspiration, but we should have aspirations. We should have dreams, because without those, I think we'll never be as good as we possibly can be. We see it in our education efforts every day, where you know, reform didn't start yesterday. Reform really started a number of years ago with a charter movement in the District of Columbia that said every one of our children can learn, and they ought to be able to have options available to them in order to learn in the way that they learn best. And of course, what we've done, you know, recently in the last several years to be able to bring a different presence to our own public education system. And we've had volunteers who've been working with us. Our early childhood education programs that now are an inherent part of how we educate children. The expectation, the dream, that children don't have to wait until they're 5 years of age in order to be able to begin a formal education, that they can begin at 4 years of age, where we have 92% of our children now enrolled, at 3, where we have 70% of our children enrolled, and frankly, as infants and toddlers, as we now increase the numbers of children in the city who are enrolled in early development programs. And volunteers play a very important role there, working not only with the children, but working with parents who themselves are struggling with the daunting responsibility of how to be a good parent. So, and that's just one example to me of what we're trying to do to be able to bring the good life to everybody. And to me, that's what One City means. So again, I want to thank you all for coming out. I want to thank you for underscoring the importance of giving of yourself, because there's nothing greater than doing that. You know, those who have means can give money, but it is not the same as giving your hours, giving your time, and bringing your talent to the table to make a difference in the lives of people in the city. I get the honor a little bit later to give an award to somebody who is pretty doggone extraordinary. And you will hear more about her and what she does every day. And after hearing her story and knowing what she does, if there are still people in this room who say they don't have time, they don't see the value of this, we're going to take you outside and we may not bring you back. In any event, thank you all very much for being here. Jeff, let me turn it back over to you at this stage.
So I have the honor of presenting our first award, which is near and dear to my heart, as being someone who is, majority of my career is focused on youth engagement and working in school and community settings, and that is our Youth Volunteer Service Award. The Youth Volunteer Service Award is given to a young man or woman, age 24 or younger, who has demonstrated exemplary commitment to volunteerism and service. This year's recipient is Ms. Sonia Pearson. Let me tell you a little bit about Sonia. Sonia Pearson is a 10th grade student at Washington International School, where she serves as the student ambassador for Reading Partners, a national education nonprofit dedicated to improving the reading skills of students from low-income communities who are reading 6 months or 2.5 years below grade level. Sonia began tutoring with Horton's Kids when she was in the 7th grade. She's fluent in English and Spanish and currently tutors 2nd grade students at DC Bilingual Charter School. As Reading Partners student ambassador, she has recruited many of her peers at Washington International, including 10 new volunteers, tutors for DC Bilingual. Thanks to Sonia's efforts, the first time ever in Reading Partners' 3-year history working at DC Bilingual, they have been able to fill all their reading center with school tutoring sessions. In the words of her nominator, Reading Partners Senior Site Coordinator at DC Bilingual School, Catherine Zaragoza, Sonia shows more tenacity than any high school student I've ever met. Her recruitment has done wonders for our ability to enroll students. She has gone above and beyond the duties of a volunteer and shows unparalleled maturity and professionalism. Please join me in welcoming and honoring our Youth Volunteer Service Award winner, Ms. Sonia Pearson. Now, to present our Education Award is our Deputy Mayor, Abigail Smith.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations again to Sonia. It is young people like you that inspire us old people to keep doing what we're doing. I work every day with thousands of professionals who are paid to work in our schools and to make things better for kids and communities, and they are a really important part of the picture, but there is no way that we could do this without the work of volunteers who add incredible amounts of capacity and expertise and support to our work. So I am thrilled to be able to present the Education Service Award today, which is given to a resident who has demonstrated exemplary commitment to supporting education through volunteerism and service. This year's recipient is Dillis Land. Ms. Land is a volunteer math teacher and tutor at Academy of Hope, whose mission is to provide high-quality adult basic education in a manner that changes lives and improves our community. Ms. Land has served for almost 5 years as a volunteer at Academy of Hope, where she spends between 10 and 15 hours a week in and outside the classroom teaching and tutoring math to low-income adult learners. Ms. Land's teaching and her influence has been instrumental in fostering students' success and achievement and inspiring staff and students alike. Ms. Land's colleagues remark that students who move up from her class are completely prepared for advanced work and her students state that not only does she consistently go above and beyond in helping them prepare and learn, but she also maintains a positive and inclusive environment where they never feel embarrassed to ask questions. Her nominator, Academy of Hope Volunteer Coordinator Mary Cabriel, states that Ms. Land has an unwavering commitment to and passion for helping the adult learners at Academy of Hope succeed. Congratulations, Ms. Land.
Our next award is our Emergency Preparedness and Public Safety Award. The Emergency Preparedness and Public Safety Award is given to a resident who has demonstrated exemplary commitment to emergency preparedness and/or public safety through volunteerism and service. This year's recipient is John McGuire. John R. McGuire is a native Washingtonian and graduate of the University of the District of Columbia. Yes, 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 it's our university, our state university. He's been a funeral director with McGuire Funeral Services, Inc. for almost 40 years. In this capacity, he is a life member of the Academy of Funeral Service Practice, was a member of the Board of Directors of the Catholic Cemeteries of the Archdiocese of Washington, and was a member secretary and chair of the District of Columbia Board of Funeral Directors. The Association of Disaster Response Teams. Mr. McGuire serves with Serve DC's Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT, DC Neighborhood Corps, DC Medical Reserve Corps, and is a poll worker with the DC Board of Elections and Ethics. In addition, he is a member of the Maryland Medical Reserve Corps and the Maryland State Funeral Directors Association Disaster Response Team. John is a past member of the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments Bioterrorism Task Force and its Mass Fatality Surge Committee. He is the Deputy Commander of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Region 3 Disaster Mortuary Operational Response Team, is an instructor of the Federal Emergency Management Agency's Mass Fatality Incident Course, and when activated, is a Public Health and Medical Services Specialist attached to FEMA's National Response Coordination Center. Charcery Clay, our Community Emergency Response Team Program Officer, says, John is a cornerstone of our program. He is more than just an exceptional volunteer. He is an exceptional person. His calming presence, familiar face, and unparalleled reliability make him an absolute pleasure to work with and serve as an inspiration to volunteers and leaders alike. In John's own words, anything he may have accomplished would not have come to pass if it were not for the patience and encouragement of his wife, Lynn, and his son, Jason. Please join me in welcoming Mr. John McGuire. To present our Community Service Award, we have the Director of the Office of Community Affairs, Mr. Stephen Glade.
Thank you. Before I present the award, I also want to recommend, if that's a word, Jeffrey and the term at Serve DC. As their day-to-day manager, every other week or so, I look up and they are announcing a new initiative or bringing new resources to the district or developing new partnerships in the community. They are an amazing service-oriented team, as well as being very entrepreneurial, and we are really fortunate to have them working in our government and with the community. So Jeffrey, I want to commend you and the team again. And also their communications director, Clarence Fluker, for writing these really easy-to-follow scripts. The Community Service Award is given to an individual that has demonstrated exemplary commitment to their neighborhood and/or award through volunteerism and service. This year's recipient is Iris Malatsky. Since moving to Washington in 1984, Ms. Malatsky has made community involvement a top personal priority. She is the current president and a founding member of the DuPont Circle Village, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping people age in their own homes and communities. She has been chair of the village's silent auction committee for 3 years and also serves as on the fundraising committee. In addition to her work with the village, Ms. Molosky is an active member of the DuPont Circle Citizens Association, where she served as the newsletter editor for 2 years and later joined the board of directors as secretary. She also currently sits on the board of directors for DuPont Festival, which organizes and implements a wide range of activities in the greater DuPont Circle area. Ms. Molosky was founder and co-director of Friends of S&T Street Parks, which formed to rehabilitate 2 small DuPont area parks that were neglected. Thanks to Ms. Molosky's tireless efforts, the Friends of S&T Street Parks, in partnership with ANC 2B and the D.C. Department of Parks and Recreation, has restored them, and the S Street Park became one of the first dog parks in the district. Her nominator, DuPont Circle Village Volunteer and Activities Coordinator Kathleen Cardill, says she has the ability to work with constituents of diverse and frequently differing opinions, often being the one to smooth the waters. We know a lot about that around here, don't we? And often being able to smooth the waters and make consensus happen. Most importantly, Iris has the warmth and compassion to bring people together. It's my understanding that Iris is not here, but her son is accepting the award? Oh, her daughter, sorry. Congratulations.
Now, to present our first ever District of Columbia Service Stars Award, we have our Chief of Staff of the Executive Office of the Mayor, Mr. Christopher Murphy.
Thanks, Jeff. Today is one of my favorite events of the year because today at this event we get to celebrate the spirit and the power of service right here in our community. And I think it's that spirit and that power of service that really animates all those that work in this administration. It's a tone that the mayor sets. Everyone knows it's where his background is, it's where my background is, it's the background of so many people of our administration who are committed to serving the residents of the district. And we are humbled today because we get the good fortune to be public servants for a living. And it's what we get to do as our full-time job. But what's so humbling about today for me is to meet people who are spending their very precious, valuable personal time and committing hundreds, and you'll hear thousands in a moment, you'll hear thousands of hours a year to improve the city that we all love. So it's just such an honor, and it's so humbling to be able to announce some of these awards. As Jeff mentioned, the category I was asked to announce is the Service Star Award. And these are individuals, for the first time, ServDC has decided to honor volunteers who are serving directly with district government agencies. So these volunteers provide critical human capital and support district government agencies to work even more effectively to serve our residents. These individuals exemplify the true meaning of service and civic engagement, and it's why we are proud to honor them today. Now, last year I was lucky enough to be able to present 1 award. I must have done something right because today I get to announce 4. So bear with me. For Department of Park and Recreation volunteer Cheryl Branham, service is a family affair. She comes from a long line of individuals committed to civic engagement and community service. The Rita Bright Family and Youth Center is named after her beloved and famous mother, Rita Bright. Ms. Branham has been volunteering for DPR for many years and serving as a team mom and preventing critical administrative support. She is renowned for her excellent customer service and her infectious positivity. Every interaction with her always comes with a smile. Ms. Branham is also a valuable resource with a wealth of nuanced knowledge about her community. She knows everyone in her neighborhood, and trust me, everyone knows her. Because of her exemplary dedication and commitment, we are honored to present the first Service Star Award to Cheryl Branham. Reserve Metropolitan Police Department Officer Christopher Dagneau joined the MPD in July of 2008. Upon graduation from the police academy, which included a rigorous training of more than 1,000 hours in just 1 year, he joined MPD's 2nd District as a volunteer reserve officer. When on duty, reserve police officers are armed and have the same authority to keep the peace and arrest powers as career police officers. Each year, reserve officers contribute more than $1 million in voluntary services to MPD. As part of MPD's Reserve Corps, Officer Daniel has made numerous arrests and issued hundreds of moving violations and other citations to keep us safe. He exemplifies the professionalism and competency of volunteer police officers and has taken on many additional assignments, such as serving as an instructor with MPD's Reserve Recruit Officer Training Program and an adjunct recruiter for both paid and volunteer police officer applicants. Because of his extraordinary commitment to volunteer police service and the safety and security of District of Columbia residents, we are honored to present our next Service Star Award to Reserve Officer Christopher Daniel. District of Columbia Public Library volunteer Jocelyn Coleman demonstrates exceptional customer service, commitment, and creativity. Ms. Coleman has worked tirelessly on a number of DCPL activities. She's planned and implemented programs for children and teachers to visit the library. She's written, produced, and acted in a skit for the seniors' Friday exercise program. She's decorated the windows each month at Woodridge Library. She's brought in schools to exhibit student artwork at both Woodridge and Lamont Riggs Library. And she's assisted in the annual Father in My Life essay contest and Winner's Circle program. Ms. Coleman's relationship with DCPL staff and patrons is unparalleled. She also assists customers with finding books, showing them how to register to use the public computers, troubleshooting Microsoft Word programs, and navigating the internet. She makes all customers feel welcome and tries her best to ensure they have a positive experience so they can't wait to come back. Ms. Coleman's nuanced and comprehensive understanding of DCPL's goals and missions makes her a considerable asset to the agency, but it is her extraordinary commitment, enthusiasm, and standard of excellence that truly set her apart. Please help me in honoring our next Service Star Award winner, Ms. Jocelyn Coleman. And our final Service Star Award winner, we honor Joy Haynes. For the past 3 years, Ms. Haynes has worked with individuals in care at St. Elizabeth's, the district's public psychiatric facility for individuals with serious and persistent mental illness. But she is not your typical hospital volunteer. Ms. Haynes has the unique idea to provide patients with video cameras to document their lives in a psychiatric hospital. Striving to inspire confidence through art and introspection and to give voice to those often overlooked or forgotten, Ms. Haynes has taught participants how to shoot high-quality video and arranged for them to work with professionals to edit and create their own 10-minute video diaries. Ms. Haynes was granted unprecedented access by the St. Elizabeth's administration because they shared her goal to equip individuals in care there to tell their own stories from beginning to end. It would have been much easier and faster for her to film and edit on her own, but she was determined to ensure that at the end of this project, participants would have the skills that would give them confidence in themselves and an opportunity to reflect on their own lives. These video diaries went on to become the documentary St. Elizabeth's Hospital, Voices from Within, which premiered in January of 2011 and was released in November of 2013. The premiere drew standing room only crowds, features in the Washington Post and on CNN, and screenings at film festivals and mental health conferences around the country and around the world. Voices from Within provides community members, as well as those who work with individuals with mental illness in the criminal justice system, a first-hand look into the challenges faced by such individuals as they come to terms with their past and simultaneously seek to plan for a different future. Because of her extraordinary commitment to truly inspired approach to service, we are honored to present our final Service Star Award today to Ms. Joy Haynes.
Now to present our first ever Corporate Engagement Award, we'll have the chair of the DC Commission on National Community Service, Ms. Justine Love.
Good morning, everybody. No, it's afternoon. I want to set the stage by just saying one thing, that I'm in the company of greatness, but you can't expect greatness if you aren't all in. And everybody in this room is all in. So I want to thank you for that. as a resident of the district, you know, I'm excited when we talk about service and how we give back. Now, because I'm the shortest person in this room right now, I get to do the mic this way. I have the honor of presenting the Corporate Engagement Award. Thank you, Clarence, for this long script. The Corporate Engagement Award is given to a for-profit corporation or community entity that has demonstrated commitment to employee volunteer engagement in the District of Columbia. On behalf of Serve DC and the Mayor's Office, we are proud to present the first ever Mayor's Community Service for Corporate Engagement to an organization that has truly set the bar for giving back to district communities, Monumental Sports and Entertainment. Created in 2013, Monumental Sports and Entertainment Foundation supports charitable efforts of the professional teams under the Monumental Sports and Entertainment umbrella, the Washington Caps, the Mystics, and the Wizards. And to maximize their impact on district communities, they focus on 5 pillars: education and scholarship, hunger and homelessness, military and veterans affairs, pediatric health and fitness, youth basketball, and hockey. In the words of the founder and chairman, Ted Leonis, Monumental Sports and Entertainment recognizes owning a professional sports franchise is a public trust, and it is imperative to support our local communities. Our players, our coaches, and employees buy into a double bottom line philosophy where we strive to do well as a business. We're finding ways to serve a larger purpose by contributing to society and benefiting the local community. In keeping with that philosophy, to date, Monumental Sports and Entertainment, along with the Leonis Foundation, has donated more than $1 million to district-based nonprofits and charities, including the District of Columbia College Access Program, Playworks Washington, D.C., the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Washington, D.C. Central Kitchen, and Kaboom, among others. Despite its generous financial contributions, however, Monumental Sports and Entertainment's commitments to district communities goes far beyond simply writing a check. They have a long-standing relationship with Serve DC and DC Public Schools, and this year alone, the Monumental Sports and Entertainment Foundation has engaged hundreds of volunteers, including employees, players, fans, and their families, as they have hosted and funded more than 6 service projects and events across the city, including, I can take a breath right now, a beautification service project at Fort DuPont Ice Arena, which featured more than 100 Capitol fans, players, and their wives, the Red Rockers dance team, and the team mascot, Slapshot. In Playworks, Washington, D.C., Junior League Leadership Conference at the Verizon Center for 130 junior coaches from 13 Playworks, Washington, D.C. partner schools, and more than 25 Monumental Sports and Entertainment staff members volunteered at the event. The Salvation Army's back-to-school shopping events, where more than 20 Monumental Sports and Entertainment staff help local students in need shop for school supplies, shoes, and other must-have back-to-school items. Their 5th DC Public Schools Beautification Day, where players and staff from the Washington Caps, Wizards, and Mystics joined more than 100 fans to prepare Neville Thomas Elementary School for the upcoming academic year. More than 20 Monumental Sports and Entertainment staff volunteered with DC Central Kitchen's morning meal prep program, where they worked alongside culinary job training graduates to prepare meals for distribution to residents in need. Monumental Sports and Entertainment partnered with Kaboom and the Eagle Academy Public Charter School to build and entirely fund a playground themed around the Capitals, the Wizards, and the Mystics for the school. The Washington Capitals and Wizards joined together more than join more than 200 volunteers from the school and the surrounding Congress Heights community. Serve DC Executive Director Jeffrey Richardson says, the commitment of Monumental Sports and Entertainment Foundation to service in the Washington, D.C. area is truly monumental. We are pleased to be awarding our first corporate engagement award to an entity that has set such a high bar for engagement by investing both their financial and human resources to serving as a positive influence in the community and inspiring others to do the same. Let's give them a huge hand.
Speak briefly. Clarence did a good job in getting your notes together, so good work, Clarence. On behalf of the Monumental Sports and Entertainment Foundation Board, its ownership group, led by Ted Leonsis, the employees, the players, we're very, very honored to have the first Corporate Engagement Award bestowed to us. We'll endeavor to work hard and continue to work hard in furthering the cause for the local community, and thank you for recognizing this in this capacity. Thanks a lot.
And coming back to the stage to present our final award, the National Service Award, Mayor of the District of Columbia, Vincent C. Gray.
Well, it really is indeed an honor for me to be able to present the National Service Award, which is given to a district resident who has demonstrated exemplary commitment to service and volunteerism within a national service capacity of program, or national service capacity or program. It is my pleasure, my distinct pleasure, to present this year's award to Virginia McLaurin. Dedicated to the belief that all children can learn, the faculty and staff of Sharp Health provides students with functional academic and therapeutic settings to be able to become productive and responsible citizens. While she is not a paid staff member, Ms. McLaurin's commitment and contributions to that effort are absolutely priceless. Ms. McLaurin began volunteering at the school in 1994 through the United Planning Organization, UPO, through the Foster Grandparent Program of UPO. Not only does she volunteer approximately 40 hours each week, got that? 40 hours each week, okay? 40 hours each week. And that's done in and outside of the classroom. She has inspired and engaged more than 50 of her peers to join the Foster Grandparent Program, and her work has helped administrators structure the volunteer work for other foster grandparents and volunteers at the school. She hasn't celebrated her birthday by taking off and all of that like, you know, many people do. And you notice I haven't said yet what was the last milestone she celebrated. Miss McLaurin is 104 years old. It is her commitment to persevere and to inspire others to service, to ensure that young people with disabilities can achieve the best life possible through love and education. According to her nominator, the UPO Foster Grandparent Program Project Director Cheryl Christmas, who is here. I worked with Cheryl for a long time. Cheryl, thank you for being here, and thank you especially for nominating Ms. McLaurin for this award. She said in the nominating document, Ms. McLaurin's presence as a volunteer inspires everyone to work beyond the aches and pains of age, to dance in the face of setbacks and loss, and to give love freely. to all. Grandma McLaurin, as she is lovingly known, is a shining example of the commitment of service and humanity that is the true essence of volunteerism. Congratulations, Ms. McLaurin, and I am truly honored on behalf of our entire city to be able to present you with this year's National Service Award.
I discovered since I've been in here today. I really appreciate and thank each and every one. But I found out that this world, this world belongs to a man, but they can't do anything with it without a girl or a lady. I get it together after a while. I'm so excited because I can't say it like I want to. But I appreciate everything that he have done. And I've seen the man on TV, but he's a more handsome man than him on TV. I really enjoyed this today. And thank each and every one for this.
Thank you so much.
I only have this stick, not to walk through so much, because excuse my tennis shoes. That's what held me up. But I keep the boys and the dogs away with this stick.
You know, when you all get ready to complain about something again, stop, okay? Just stop. This is the essence of life right here. Somebody who at her age is still giving back 40 hours a week, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? If she isn't an inspiration for every one of us to do more, then we are incapable of being further inspired. Thank you very much.
Well, I opened up saying that the spirit of service is truly alive and well in the District of Columbia, and I know that we have seen that so today. Thank you all so much for coming out. Again, being a part of Mayor Vincent C. Gray's 2013 Community Service Award, and have a wonderful day.